Hi, it's me. From massive creatures that could spit fire to a mammal that ruled the seas for over 100 million years, here are 5 prehistoric animals with superpowers. 5.Basilisk. A creature with the power of a snake and the body of a crocodile. What more could you ask for? The basilisk was a genus of large marine reptiles that lived during the age of dinosaurs. They were in the same group as mosasaurs and ichthyosaurs. They lived between the late Jurassic and the late Cretaceous, approximately 145 to 66 million years ago. In fact, they lived so long that they managed to occupy multiple continents, including Europe, Africa, and the Americas. That's quite the journey. But what made them so special? To put it simply, they were basically crocodiles that adapted to life in water. This is evident in their bodies, which resembled elongated crocodiles, but also featured a tail like a fish and limbs that evolved into flippers. The largest species of basilisk, the B. minor, could reach lengths of up to 15 meters. And this is not counting the tail. They were probably around the same length as the modern saltwater crocodile, which can measure up to 7 meters in length. Despite being so enormous, basilisks were very fast. Their powerful tails propelled them through the water at great speed. Some scientists believe that they might have been able to swim backwards too, although there isn't much evidence to support this theory. They most likely used their powerful jaws to hunt fish and other marine animals. We know this because they had plenty of teeth to do the job, 80 to be exact. Even though they lived millions of years ago, fossil evidence shows us that these ancient monsters weren't picky eaters. As such, it's safe to say that they were at the top of their food chains. But why are they no longer with us? Many experts agree that the asteroid impact that killed the dinosaurs was the main reason for their extinction. This event drastically changed our planet, causing drastic climate shifts and making it less hospitable for many species. Basilisks couldn't adapt and disappeared forever. It's possible that if humans had existed back then, we would have been fascinated by these magnificent creatures. Imagine going on an African safari and instead of seeing hippos, you come face to face with a crocodile-alligator hybrid. Talk about a nightmare. Number 4. Tyrannosaurus. Have you ever wondered what it would look like if we took the biggest snake in the world and increased its size to absurd proportions? If you haven't, here's your chance to find out. Tyrannosaurus was a genus of giant snakes that lived in North America during the late Cretaceous. The only known species, Tyrannosaurus cerrejonensis, lived approximately 90 to 66 million years ago. At a length of over 13 meters and a weight of 1,100 kilograms, this serpent truly deserved its title as the king of the snakes. These giants were longer than the blue whale and almost as heavy as a Tyrannosaurus rex. For comparison, the largest living snake, the reticulated python, measures up to 7 meters in length and weighs about 200 kilograms. So you can imagine how impressive Tyrannosaurus was. The titans were probably ambush predators who laid in wait and struck fast. Their prey would never see it coming. Some scientists hypothesize that the Tyrannosaurus could swallow large mammals whole. This would have been an effective hunting strategy as it didn't require much movement. They also had a rather peculiar way of moving called sidewinding. As the name suggests, they moved sideways, and like most snakes that slither forward. They would make S-shaped curves in the sand and move along them, leaving a scaly trail behind them. Unfortunately, this reptile went extinct due to the mass extinction at the end of the Cretaceous period. It's believed that climate change played a part in this, as well as the asteroid impact. No. 3. Smilodon. Also known as the saber-toothed cat, the Smilodon is one of the most famous prehistoric animals. This was a large, powerful cat that lived in both the Old World and the New World during the Pleistocene epoch. It's believed that the Smilodons inhabited areas where humans currently live, such as South and North America, Europe and Asia. However, they preferred grasslands and open areas as opposed to forests. They stood about 3 feet tall at the shoulder and measured 8 to 10 feet from nose to tail. Smilodons were true apex predators. Their name comes from the 2 long saber-like fangs that protruded from the upper jaw. These could grow up to 30 centimeters long. So when they attacked their prey, they left gaping wounds that were hard to survive. The Smilodon was agile despite its size and could run at speeds of up to 80 kilometers per hour. It used its canines to slash and stab, and its short, strong legs helped it take down large prey. Its fur was short and its skull was round. Its ears were small, its eyes were round, and its whiskers were extra long. So basically it looked like a giant tiger or lion crossed with a house cat. This cat's extinction is believed to be linked to climate change and the disappearance of its main food source, the North American camelids. Number 2. Arseniotherium. Have you ever seen an animal that looks like a mix between a rhino and a giraffe? Meet Arseniotherium. This is an extinct genus of mammal that lived in Africa and Asia during the Eocene epoch. The first fossils of this strange creature were found in Egypt in 1927. Hence the word Arsenoi, which means Egyptian. The animal's appearance was truly unique. It had a bulky body, a small head, and a neck that was surprisingly long. It also featured a pair of horns that curved backward on each side of the head. The animal's neck was covered in skin and the horns were connected to the top of the skull by a bony structure. The length of these structures varied depending on the individual and could reach up to 1.6 meters in length. The Arseniotherium's build enabled it to thrive in swampy environments. It used its height to reach high plants while its horn-covered neck acted as armor against predators. They walked on 4 sturdy legs and had hooves that resembled those of horses. They also had a digestive system similar to modern-day mammals, including a 4-chambered heart. The Arseniotherium is a perfect example of a mammal that used camouflage as a defense mechanism. It was the color of mud, which helped it blend in with its surroundings. This made it difficult for predators to spot, and therefore reduced the chances of being attacked. They probably stuck to the same areas all year round, munching on local plants. There wasn't much reason for them to migrate. As for how and why they went extinct, researchers have yet to find concrete evidence. However, some believe that it might have had something to do with changes in climate, habitat, and vegetation. Number 1. Ambulocetus. This next animal could easily be the star of a horror movie. Ambulocetus, meaning walking whale, is an extinct genus of early whales from the late Eocene of Pakistan. It was a large carnivorous whale that could walk on land. Yes, you heard that right. Whales can't exactly take a stroll on the beach, but ambulocetuses could. They would have looked similar to crocodiles, like gigantic ones with teeth. They had a narrow snout, sharp teeth, and massive forelimbs. They could use these limbs to support themselves when they were on land. They also had small eyes, long flippers, and a paddle-shaped tail. Because they were amphibious, they inhabited coastal areas. They spent time in the water hunting fish and occasionally crawled up on land to lay in the sun. These bizarre creatures were active both day and night. They hunted alone and preferred shallow waters, although they were capable of diving to great depths. Just imagine if one of these monsters attacked you on the beach. You'd probably scream and run away. Well, actually, you wouldn't be able to scream because they'd eat you alive. These whales were ruthless hunters. They had no problem eating anything that entered the water, including birds. To catch their prey, they used a technique called suction feeding. This meant that they'd open their mouths really wide and suck them in. It's the same technique that dolphins and even modern-day whales use. Scientists believe that these whales went extinct after the asteroid impact. The collision caused the sea level to drop, destroying their habitat. Others believe that it was a gradual process due to climatic and environmental changes. Prehistoric animals were truly fascinating creatures. It's amazing to think that they once roamed the earth and some were capable of things we can only dream of. Now it's time to hear from you. Which of these superpowers would you like to have? And which prehistoric animals do you think should be brought back to life? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye.